Are you bored and lonely and sick of playing on your own? Do you want some friends to play with and to keep you company? Is your imaginary friend starting to irritate you? Well, fear not, for in this video I will share with you some tips and tricks in order to make some new friends if you are an only child. And make sure you watch this video with your parents so that they can learn too on how to make new friends and how they can support you. And do stick around until the very end, because I've got something to share with you that's definitely going to help you make some new friends. Hello, my name is Tamsin and I run the website theonlychildclub.net. And I'm dedicated to supporting you and your beautiful family, helping you all to grow, flourish and enjoy life to the full. Now, this is a new channel and we hope to make lots of helpful videos like this for you and your family. So it would be so helpful if you can tick that like button and also that subscribe button so we can build a much bigger community of one-child families. It's great being an only child, right? You don't have any irritating little siblings to annoy you, to take your toys, to squabble over who has what side of the bedroom. Believe me, it is good. It's good that you've got your own room that you can chill and just get away from it all. However, we are designed to be social creatures and it is only natural for you to want to have friends to spend time with and to play with. But how do you make new friends? Well, in this video, I'm going to share 6 tips to help you make some new friends. The first one is to join clubs and societies that really interest you. Now, going to school is a good way to make new friends because you're spending time with them all the time, other kids your age all the time, and I'll speak about that in a minute. But when you join the clubs and societies that interest you, you're going to find your tribe, as it were. You're going to find other people that you're more likely to be able to click with because you've got similar interests. For example, if you really like football and you join a football club, you're going to meet other kids who also really love football. If you like dancing and you join a dancing school, then you're going to meet some other children who love dancing and you're naturally going to probably click with them and get on really well. If you really like, say, a particular book like Harry Potter, then perhaps you can join a Harry Potter appreciation club or fan club. You can do that in your school. If your school hasn't already got a Harry Potter fan club, speak to your school librarian, see if you can set one up with them. There was a school where I worked as an academic mentor and I ran the Disney club because I was really into Disney, but school librarian ran the Harry Potter club, so that was quite fun. Now, this is a really cool thing about being an only child, okay, is that you could probably join quite a few clubs and societies. It doesn't necessarily have to be one. You have to check with your parents. But the good thing about being an only child is that they only have to think about ferrying you to places, taking you to the different clubs. So, maybe Monday night you're going to Cubs or Guides or whatever it is. Maybe another night you are doing gymnastics. Maybe another night you're doing a theatre club or something like that. And your parents just have to take you to these different places, but it's only you. Whereas for some parents who've got several children who are in different clubs, that must be a blooming nightmare. They must have like a huge board with all this schedule calendars all over the place and routes. So, you say, right, to the parents, okay, Jack, you go get Polly and Susan from Guides, and then you need to go over to the football club and pick up Billy, and then I will go and get Alice from dancing, and I'll go get I don't know, I'm thinking of another name for a kid now, and then I'll get James from theatre club. That's the kind of craziness that parents who've got several children have to endure. But you don't have to worry about that. It's just your parents have to think about. So that's a good thing, and you're more likely to be able to join maybe several clubs and societies. Right, so point number 2 is make friends with children who are around the same age as you. Now, some of the clubs and societies will have that to a degree. So, for example, if you're in the Brownies, well, you've got like for girl guiding, you've got like the Rainbows. That's for the really little ones. Then you've got the Brownies. I think that's sort of the middle school sort of age, from about, I think, 7 to 11ish, and then Girl Guides, which 11 plus. So they are sort of branded in age groups. But what you really want to do is maybe find children the same age as you, because then you've all got a shared experience just being that age and going through typical development stages in that age group. So, for example, you make a few friends in your class, then you're having the same experience when you go up a year and you've got maybe a new teacher. It's a good thing if you can make friends your own age, and then you've got those experiences, shared experiences of the time that you're in. And I know it's going to sound a bit strange, but what happens is if you make these friends who are the same age as you, these are lifelong friends, what you'll find is when you grow up, you're going to get married around the same time. There'll be a period in which you'll have like several people getting married in the same year or the same few years, and then you'll all be having babies around the same time. That tends to naturally be what happens. It's like this stages in life if you make lifelong friends and you've known each other since you were really little. It's so cute when that happens. So when it comes to making your lifelong friends, it's worth making your lifelong friends when they're the same age as you. Okay, point number 3 is encourage your parents to make friends with your friends' parents. It makes things so much easier for you. Okay, now when you get a little bit older, when you're a teenager, like Sops, she can make friends everywhere she goes. She's really good at that, and she just gets people's mobile numbers and makes a WhatsApp group and communicates via WhatsApp. And she's old enough to go to town with her friends, and that's fine. But when you're a bit younger, you are reliant on your parents to take you places and to look after you when you're socialising, things like that. And so it's really important that you got your friends, your parents on your side, and it makes it a lot easier if they're friends with your friends' parents. Okay, so I'll give you an example. My daughter, her best friend, she made her best friend at school. She actually made friends with her when they were in nursery together. And, occasionally I contact the mum and we'll go out for a walk or something together. So we get on really well. Her mum was born in the same year as me, so we've got that generational thing. We can talk about the 80s and the 90s and the way it used to be, and that's something that we've got in common with each other, so we get on really well. So this is a way that you can do it. If you say are in a park and you make friends with a new kid and you think, right, if our folks don't swap phone numbers, I might never see this child again and I want to be friends with them. So then what you have to do is talk to this new friend, find out a little bit about them, find out a little bit more about the parent that they've come to the park with, or the grandmother, whoever it is who's taken them to the park. So you say, "Hello, who are you here with?" "Well, I'm with my mum." "Oh, tell me a bit more about your mum." "Well, she's a bit of a Disney fan." And he says, "Hey, my mum's a Disney fan too." All mums are Disney fans these days, I reckon. And so perhaps you can then both go to your parents and say, "Hey, I just made this new friend and his mum's a Disney fan like you are," and see if you can sort of get them talking. perhaps. It's a little contrite, but what you want to be doing in this moment is getting your parents to swap phone numbers so they can be in contact with each other. You might need to be a little bit pushy, but this might be the only way that you can keep in touch with your friend. So have you ever done this yourself? What would you say are the best tips on making friends? Please do let us know in the comments below. Now I'm just going to speak to your parents and just say, if you are a parent of an only child and your only child is a bit of an extrovert and you're a bit of an introvert, and they come to you and say, hey, I've made this friend, please do your utmost to try and connect with your child's friends' parents, okay? It would be doing your child a massive favour if you can do that. So then perhaps you can arrange social weather, maybe a barbecue or a picnic, or go to the park on a more regular basis with them, and you've got someone to talk to. Maybe you can make new friends too by doing this. Children are amazing at helping their parents make new friends by the kids making friends with someone of their own age. However, a little warning here, sometimes it can be very difficult when the parents don't like each other, and it can really impact the children's friendship. It can actually bring an end to the friendship, and vice versa. Sometimes parents can get on really well, but their kids don't like each other. And I'm just going to say, if that is the case, if you ever find yourself in that, don't put your kid through that. It can be really, really hard on your child, and they're going to remember it as well. So if you're like, hey, I'm going to go to my friend Susan's, you can come along, and you can play with little Billy's, complete and utter bully, and that can be really problematic. So as sad as it can be, and I've experienced this, and I'm sure plenty of other parents have, if your child doesn't like the other people's children, that friendship may end, which is a shame, but it happened. And vice versa. I don't know how you feel about that. Maybe, you've got different experiences. Maybe you think it's worth working it through. Do let me know in the comments below. Has there ever been a situation when you've been friends with your child's friends' parents, and then that's broken down? How have you handled that? It'd be interesting to know. So do put that in the comments below. So point number 4 is starting up a friendship. So you've started a new school or a club, and there's another child out there, and you think, you know what, I'd like to make friends with them. They seem quite friendly and active and exciting. So the first thing you need to be doing is maybe just smile at them. A nice, sweet, friendly smile, not some creepy, weirdo smile. Then, if they smile back, you've made a connection there. Now, at that time, or maybe another time, you could reach out to them and offer them something like some sweets, or maybe a little toy. Maybe you want to trade some cards. If you've got like some Pokemon cards and you can trade, be careful with trading. Make sure it's fair and lovely. And then maybe you can start having a bit of a laugh with them. Crack a joke. That's a really good way of breaking the ice. And then maybe you can start talking to them in a bit more depth. Find out more about your new friends, not just about the age, but maybe about where they live, a bit about their family. Do they have any brothers and sisters? What do they think of their brothers or sisters? What's their favourite TV show? Or have they got a favourite sport? See if you've got anything in common that you can talk about. If you're a little bit shy and you don't know what to do, perhaps you can practice with your imaginary friend. That's part. But you could also practice with your toys, just do a bit of role play, or even maybe practice with your parents if you're feeling a little bit socially awkward. I've got to admit, after lockdown, because of lockdown and after lockdown, a lot of people sort of feel socially awkward and they haven't quite got the social skills together, or they've forgotten them. So this is a way to build up confidence. Do a bit of role playing with your parents, with your imaginary friend, or with your toys, so that you feel the confidence to go out there and meet new friends. And you know what? it might be that another child, you want to make friends with them, they don't want to make friends with you. That's their choice, you know, that's their loss. You just got to let it go. Don't try not to, you know, take it too personally as a massive rejection. You know, that's their choice, just as much as you've got a choice of who you want to be friends with. You shouldn't be forced into making friends with anyone. And lastly, when it comes to making new friends, be yourself, okay? Even if you're a little bit weird, just be your authentic self. Because if you're not yourself from the start, then you're going to have to maintain pretending to be someone else. And that's exhausting. And it's not, your friend isn't even friends with you, absolutely. They're friends with the kind of character you're portraying yourself to be. You know, just be yourself, be your authentic weird self if you are a weirdo. If you are a little bit too weird, okay, you might need to adjust your behaviour if it's not working for you and you're not making any new friends. And you can do that. So for example, with Socks, when she was about 7 or 8, you know, being an only child, she wasn't used to having other children in the house. So when I did have visitors and they brought their kid with them, then Socks would get a little overexcited, really overexcited, and a little bit hyper. And she had to learn to adjust her behaviour and simmer down a little bit, because otherwise she was a little bit too much for people. So you might need to adjust your behaviour a little bit, but still be your authentic self. Right, and the last point number 6, is where to make friends. So we've already talked about you can make friends at school, you can make friends in the park, in the swimming pool, public places, you can make friends in your clubs and societies, which is brilliant. But you can also make friends online, which is fantastic because you can make friends all over the world. But you have to be able to do this safely, all right? Because whilst there's a lot of wonderful people that you can make friends with, there's also some people out there who, you know, I just want to trick you, and I don't want that. So what we've done at the Only Child Club is we have set up a Discord server just for you and your lovely family. On the Discord server, it's quite heavily moderated, but there are 3 channels, okay? 3 channels where anyone in your family can speak to other people. So there's a channel aimed at parents, so parents can talk to each other. There's a channel for teenagers, and there's a channel for children. So if you're like, you know, you just want to talk to other children who are an only child, you can come onto the Discord server and you can do that. All right, and it's very heavily moderated, and I check it all the time. So you know, there's no one dodgy on that. Just remember, when you're on anything like this that's online, never share your contact details, never say where you live. But other than that, you know, you can make some really interesting friends. My daughter, she's spoken to people on the Discord server before now, and you know, they've been able to click. So what we're going to do in the near future is we're going to start hosting some events, I think, on Discord when I figure out how to do it, and I will mention any of the events in the newsletter. So this is something that parents need to be doing, okay? So you're listening carefully, parents. What I want you to do is go onto the website, theonlychildclub.net. Sign up for our newsletter. You're going to get a pop-up there. You sign up to the newsletter, you'll get the activity book, the free activity book, Dinosaurs and Unicorns, that your child can use. And that means you'll be getting newsletters, and the newsletters will tell you of any events that we've got where we can connect families together online. That could be something like quizzes and just having online chats together as a family. And to sign on to the Discord server, you can just do that straight on the website. It's just on the side panel, so you can sign on to there. It's for parents to sign on to the Discord server. Well, I hope this video has proved really useful to you. Please, again, don't forget to tick that subscribe button, the notification bell, or the like bell, or the bells and things. Just tap everything that you think needs to be tapped. Just tap it. That will really help the channel to grow, and it will help us to be able to serve you. Thank you ever so much. Toodles.